Hi everybody, welcome back to You Are Supreme Toys. Today we've got a special series of unboxing and reviews. We just got our first wave of Silverhawks Ultimates in today. Now this is not the first wave, technically, this is wave 2. Wave 1 is still delayed. I don't know how long or when we'll get that, which is quite unfortunate because most of my nostalgia is tied up in some of the figures released in wave 1. Now, I used to watch a lot of Silverhawks when I was a kid. Not quite as much as, say, Thundercats, but I definitely did enjoy it. I only had a handful of the figures, maybe 4 or 5 toys from that line, and none of them were the actual Silverhawks. I had mostly villains and the large Tallyhawk toy that you could actually put on your wrist. Now, these toys are, of course, modeled after the cartoon accurate screen representations of the characters and not the action figures, which, as I mentioned, I did not have any of the actual heroes from that toy line. A lot of people were upset that the Ultimates were not going to have the vac metal bodies, which I did not care about because, as I did not have them. So I'm more than happy to get screen representations. However, there are a few toy variants I hope they get to at some point. But for now, we're going to just go through these 5 collectibles and see how they stack up. I think today we're going to start with Bluegrass. As you can see, he is in his typical brown shipper case. First impressions, this packaging is amazing. Just the metallic chrome package sleeve is gorgeous. You can almost see my reflection in this sleeve. It's like a mirror. You can see my whole setup. It's pretty cool. On the back you have Silverhawks in this embossed logo, which is pretty nice. There's really nothing else on the packaging. Ultimates is embossed on the top, this embossed logo on the front. We're gonna do a little slip reveal. Okay, first impressions. Eesh. My first impressions, honestly, I think this is an ugly figure. Yeah, I think this is an ugly figure. I don't know what's going on here, but it just, I don't like it. I don't know. Maybe I'm not remembering how Bluegrass looks, but he looks like Tom Hanks. This looks like Woody from Toy Story in a silver jumpsuit. Okay. All right. That aside, let's just take a little gander at it up close. He's got 3 heads, a number of guitar accessories, a number of hawks. Turn him over, look at the back. Got this nice hologram representation of the character, which is okay. Got his little bio here. Bluegrass, Silverhawks Colonel. Bluegrass is a human law enforcement officer modified into a cyborg to withstand the effects of hypertravel through space. This grants him enhanced strength, agility, and speed. He has a hawk-like faceplate that protects him during tough situations. Unlike the other Silverhawks, Bluegrass's bionic hardware includes no built-in weapons or wings, and he once complained that he would one day have to learn to fly without his ship, the Mirage. Instead of built-in lasers, he uses his guitar, called Hot Licks, as both a piloting aid and as a weapon, firing blue energy notes. Now, I feel like this character was just being difficult, and they didn't have a lot of other volunteers, so they just like catered to him and made the guitars and didn't give him wings. But that's okay. This is like the one Silverhawk who's not really a hawk. Alright, here we got Bluegrass. Now, I gotta say, the sculpting isn't too bad on this guy. It's just, I don't know, there's just something about it that just looks ugly. Now, I remember in a number of interviews, Brian Flynn was specifically talking about the metallic sheen paint that they were going to have on each figure. And we were going to love it, and it wasn't going to be chrome, but everybody was going to love it. It was going to look great, and honestly, I don't see it. I don't really see it. It looks kind of flat. I mean, I guess there's sort of a mild sheen there, but it definitely does not stand out in any way that he mentioned. He's like a gray, and the colors just do not match between limbs. Like, the abdomen is different than the waist, and the upper torso, and the arms, and he just does not seem to blend together well. Maybe he'll show up differently on camera after I've filmed this as opposed to in person. But in person, in lighting, I don't really care for it. It's very bland. I was expecting something a little bit more shiny. But anyway, let's take a look at this face sculpt. Face is okay. I don't like the face. I don't know what it is. I just don't like this sculpt. You can see a lot of the flash lines from the mold all over the figure, like all over the arms, up and down the legs. Other than the paint on his body, the only thing painted are these lines on his boots. I don't like how the arm was cut wrongly and tooled wrongly, so there's a little bit of this little flash on the edge that's noticeable. He's got a little scarf on his neck. Scarf's okay. Alright, let's take a look at articulation. He's got pretty standard ball joint neck. He's got the swivel and hinge shoulders, which go up about that high. The bicep swivel. A single jointed elbow, which does pretty good. Goes past the 90 degree. I'm glad they did that. And then he's got the little hinge and swivel hands. And this mirrors over to the other side. They're not too tight, not too loose. Again, the hands are okay. There's a little bit of paint fleck in those joints. Now this upper body is really wobbly. And I don't even understand why they give cuts if you can't really utilize them well. He has a waist swivel. I was hoping they were going to do the bobble like they've done with a number of other figures, like the G.I. Joe and the Power Rangers, but they did not. Missed opportunity there. And then, of course, he's got his thigh cut and swivel, or his hip cut and swivel, and single jointed knee, which fortunately for once they got it past the 90 degree. And then his boot, hinge, and rocker. So I gotta say the articulation is a lot better than what we've gotten in the past. Oh, there's also a little knee twist at the boot, so that's pretty good. A lot of the Ultimates figures just cannot get those 90 degree points, so articulation is very limited. That being said, I think he looks pretty good. I will say this. I feel like for the price point, I wish Super7 would at least include stands with their figures. All their figures have peg holes in the bottom. I would have liked to see, these characters come with stands. Accessories. Now, accessory abounds with this guy, because really there's nothing going on here. If they didn't give him something good, I would have been very disappointed. Fortunately, they give us his signature hat. There is a little cut in the middle, so it'll fit right over that little fin on his head, and it'll sit pretty snugly. Do I think it sits down far enough? No, I think it should sit down a little bit further than that, but that's probably as good as you're going to get it unless you were to heat it up maybe. Fortunately, this is good because it gives you the option to swap out heads and have his hat on every head. He has a winking head and then a smirking head, which I like those. Those are both very characteristic of the character, especially the winking head. Let's see how the heads pop off. popped off pretty easy. Scarf went flying. Let's give him this winking head. Hopefully it doesn't need to be heated up. No, it actually went on there pretty easily. And then the fin, the hat should fit over the fin. Yeah, he's like, here's dirt in your eye. Okay. He stands pretty good. I like that. You don't have to fight with him too much to stand. He comes with 2 guitars. I don't remember the names of the Hawks, but he has his Hawk version of his guitar. 3 versions of this guy too. He's got the wings spread Hawk. I really like these. I really like these Hawks. They look really nice. And then you've got the folded wings Hawk. Now, these were like the big feature for the characters back in the show. Everybody had their own Hawk teammate, and even some of the villains had their Hawk teammates. So I'm glad that they included multiple Hawks with these figures. Now, he should fit on his wrist. I don't know how well that's going to do. I'm kind of iffy. I don't want to break these legs. They're pretty firm. They're not loose, but one wrong move. Let's try popping out the hand and see if it'll slide on. Pretty tight. Yeah, I'm not seeing. I don't trust this. Don't trust it. Yeah, I'm not really getting that on there. Don't trust it. He comes with a second guitar. This is the one he typically uses when he's not in combat, as well as an attachment for the musical instrument power. And this should fit right over the top. It does not fit very well. It's very tight. You probably need to heat it up. But it looks pretty nice. It's not a straight clear plastic. It's sort of a yellowy tinged plastic, sort of like what you would see if plastic has degraded and discolored. I think that's intentional. And then, of course, the other option is the laser blast, which connects into this little port on the top so that he can shoot his lasers. I like that. That's pretty cool. He also comes with his guitar strap. I do not trust pegs with Super7, but allegedly these guitar straps should strap over these pegs. The peg is a lot larger than the hole. I'm already seeing stress marks on this rubbery strap, so I don't like that. It's really hard to finagle this. Let's see if we get it over. I mean, this is a softer rubber, so it should just fit over, but it is not working very well, and it is stressing. Okay. I just do not believe that these were intended to be played with at all sometimes. I do not see this strap living past a few uses. Yeah, I'm just going to take this off because I can already see stress marks on that plastic. It's just going to tear up eventually. They should have just did, I don't know, something different than that. He has this lasso, which is wound up very tightly upon itself. So you're going to have to heat this up to mold it into whatever direction you want it. This is not a bendable plastic. This is a just hard, stiff plastic. The lasso does rotate on a clip. I don't see any use for this, but somebody will probably use it. And then he's got his folded up lasso, which is a lot softer. He comes with 2 guitar straps, by the way, and they seem to be 2 different colors. One is like a yellow and one's gray. and the holes on the other one are smaller, and the gray one is shorter than the long one. So I guess the short one goes with the Hawk guitar. All right. Look at hands. He's got them. He's got more flesh-colored hands than he does anything else, which is weird. We've got a flesh and blue thumbs up hand, a flesh and blue fist, a flesh and blue gripping set of hands. We've got a pick holding hand and a gripping hand. We got a waving hand and then some weird, I guess, fretting hand. And then we have a hand that I guess he's playing with his fingers. I don't really know what this is. I don't see a guitar pick. I was under the impression that he would have a pick hand of some type. He does not. Anyway, he's going to be playing a guitar, so let's swap these hands out and figure out which guitar he's going to be playing. I think I'm going to give him his standard. So we've got to find his hand that will grip this. This is a thick neck, though, and there's not a lot of hands that will hold it, except for maybe this one. So we'll give him this hand. Hands come in and out pretty well, so that's not an issue. Let's go ahead and give him his guitar, his gift fiddle. Oh, that does not stay there very well. You're definitely going to need a strap. My honest opinion is to forego these cheap, flimsy straps and get a string and just tie a string around him. That's my opinion, because I just do not see these straps working very well. And, you know, the weight of the guitar is so substantial that he does not want to hold it, which is quite disappointing. Does not want to hold it. Even the weight levered against his body, he just does not want to hold the guitar. See how he holds this one. Maybe try. I don't know. These hands just are too small for gripping the guitar. I don't know. Let's see. I don't want to mess up these straps, but let's do what we gotta do here. Alright, got it on. That'll at least save me some trouble. And of course, fit on his hat. There you go. Bluegrass, playing his weird guitar. I'm playing the guitar. I'm a Silverhawk, jamming. Anyway, I do like the birds. They're just not very practical. These are very hard claws, very firm, like non-moving. So clipping him onto his arm or whatever is nigh impossible. I would have liked that they give stands for these guys, a little bird stand that they could have perched on. Stands for these figures. I don't know. I like him. I'm not saying I don't like him. There are just some missed opportunities. And I don't know. I think certain things weren't considered. Or maybe they were over considered. I find some of the accessories to be useless, like these are going to go in a bag and never be seen again. But other than that, I like all the head options. I like the bird options. The hand options are pretty exceptional. I like the laser and musical attachment. However, this musical attachment does not fit onto the guitar top very well. In fact, it kind of marred it up while I was trying to press it on there. So keep that in mind. This is a very firm plastic as well. It's got some give to it, but over time the weight of it is going to start to droop if you've got it on your display. I would advise heating up these straps a little bit before putting them on the guitar. Anyway, that's been an unboxing and review of Bluegrass from Silverhawks Ultimates Wave 2. I am UR Supreme Toys. Thank you for watching.